Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome to Young Titan World. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about the finale, the season ending. We're talking about the culmination of 6 seasons of an amazing TV show. If you haven't watched it, I do recommend go watch Fresh Off the Boat because it was just so awesome. And very inspiring, actually. I mean, the show always had 4 parts. You know, introduction to the problem, fake solution to the problem, fake solution to the problem getting totally destroyed or not used or ineffective. And then the last part, admitting their faults and being honest. You know, because I guess that's just the 4 parts that every Asian goes through when they're living their lives in America. But I gotta say, the values that are shown in the show are very well handy. You know, I feel like parents and children go through these kind of problems all the time, especially in an environment that constantly keeps changing and almost wants to alter the lives of your kids. Now, obviously, being a guy that moves into a different country every single day or like finds himself in different settings every single time, there is always that new environment smell, or should I say new environment vibe. You want to fit in, you want to be part of the clique, and you want to make your life as meaningful and happy as possible. But it can both positively and negatively affect your life. And it's always comforting to know that you have a sort of cushion to fall onto when things are dicey. Now, Fresh Off the Boat may not be perfect at singling out people who read their lines perfectly. I mean, I gotta be honest, like, I want to love this show with 100%, but there are some parts that freaked me out, okay? There are parts that freaked me out consistently, not just like once in a while, but all the time, which makes me like feel as if, okay, maybe I really hate the show, but I really don't. I really do not hate the show, but there are pieces of it that are hard to swallow. For example, in the first part, the first black kid that we met in this show was definitely not the greatest actor in the world. By season 6, we all loved him. At least I was able to contend with his attitude and the fact that he was chill now and he did not read his lines like it was right in front of him. And, you know, like, as time went on, I adapted to them. But the one character in this entire show that I couldn't adapt to, no matter how hard I tried, was the grandma. The grandma was unadaptable, okay? I mean, I loved it better when she was speaking the Chinese. I loved it. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it when she was speaking the traditional Chinese. But then, when she spoke the English, and her facial expressions, it's like she was a completely different person. It freaked me out. You know what overacting means? Yeah, that was the definition of overacting. And it totally put me in a perspective that made me think that maybe I was racist. But I'm not. It's just, it really, really, really felt weird. And I just wanted to know whether the director was in on it or because he did not want to point out that it was horrible and she should stop, he decided to leave it in there. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like I'm trying to say she's terrible or anything. If anything, I'm sure she's really great at acting. But why do they have to use English scenes when it was just the parts that made me cringe? Am I crazy to say that? Listen, all I know is that I loved it from top to bottom, okay? Every single character in there was a part that I could see myself becoming, but it seems like it's a little bit too extra. I cannot really relate to my family on that level. I cannot put my family in the same perspective. We are not 3 boys. We're 2 boys and 2 girls, so that's like +1. And everyone's attitude is pretty much like like it's a combination and a mixture of pretty much everyone in my family. My mother, who is a perfectionist, yeah, definitely, I could relate her to Jessica 100%. She really likes to save money and stuff like that. And she's also one to point out a good bargain. So obviously, yes. Okay, maybe Jessica Wong is like a spitting image of my mom. But I am not Eddie. I am not Eddie at all. If anything, since I was close to the middleborn, or close to being the middleborn, I would consider myself an Emery. But, well, technically I do find myself in the prospects of acting and content creation. So yeah, maybe I'd be more of an Emery, because that's what he wanted to do. Although he was like just like the perfect kid who had the thing with the ladies. I didn't have a thing with the ladies. I had to fight for everything I fucking had. Okay, that's not true. Okay, anyways, apart from that, I'd have to say my dad is not really like Lewis. Lewis is like a crazy entrepreneur who's just like bouncing from business to business. Unlike my dad, who is very focused on one career and gives it his 100% best. And there's absolutely no part of this that becomes a problem for him because he's fixated on helping the family. Pretty much like Lewis, but I wouldn't say that he's emotionally available as Lewis, okay? Basically, there are two different sides of the coin. I'd say Lewis exposes too much, and my father doesn't expose anything at all. He's like a brick wall, melted with like iron covering the brick wall, and then like frozen with ice and and then another brick wall, and then one cemented around that brick wall, and then like, I don't know, doused in gold or something. He's pretty, but he is helpful in the way that matters. Not really emotionally available all the time, although he does try to learn. He's just not there yet, and no one can really force him, because if you're in an environment that doesn't really help you grow in your emotional qualities, you will try, but you will never be 100% there. So I understand, all right? Africa is no place for emotional growth, okay? It's the part where you kill or you be killed, or you become the hardest character, and after that, maybe you start exploring what it feels like to have emotions. Well, at least I didn't really do a great job on that one. Anyways, yeah, so looking back to it, my family doesn't really relate to that. So like just a few similarities here. I'd say that 100% Jessica Wong is my mom. You know, she just looks as pretty as the day that I saw her as a baby, which I don't really remember, but I'm gonna assume that I really remembered her. There are lots of parts that I really loved about Fresh Off the Boat, because it never really tried so hard to force humor out. There are all those times where they quick jab things that were to come. You know, a show that was about the 1990s, bringing in the perspective where no one really knew what was going to happen in the 2000s and the years that followed, and having all of those things happen whilst these people say that's going to happen, or they made fun of stuff, you know. They made fun of stuff that have become like the cornerstone of society. And I've got to say, I'm sure back in the day, they never really took it seriously. So it's really refreshing to know that such kind of content is also out there, you know. It's also pretty heavy on relationships and how it matters. For one thing, being in a relationship is complex, and sometimes joking about it doesn't really get people there. But with Fresh Off the Boat, it's like their heart's in the right place, you know. You can't really solidify relationships, or you cannot really take relationships seriously unless you like poke fun at it. You can't take it seriously unless you know that it has a funny side. At least that's what I feel. All right. Anyways, Fresh Off the Boat was fun. It was very interesting, and aside from the fact that it ended too quickly, it was a really great show that I really respect, and I do hope that Nananchka Khan. I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. If he makes another one, I would love to be a part of it. So, Nananchka, hook me up. We can talk about my family, though. Although I kind of feel like the actors for it would be pretty spot on because everyone would have to be black. Can we get Wesley Snipes to play my dad, though? That would be sick. That would be sick. He was a Passenger 57 fan. We could not sleep without watching that show. Okay, anyways, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Take care of yourselves, like and subscribe onto the Spotify as well as the YouTube channel, as it helps to promote our content. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, and I hope you take care of yourselves. See you up until next time. Bye. Take care of yourselves.